but we just don't
But nothing. We don't have time for this, Professor.
But we have to make time for this. This is important.
No, what's important is that we get superpowers and defeat Dr. Opposite. She's terrorizing the people. She's destroying the cities. She's poised to take over the entire known world. Professor, are you even listening to me?
Melody, where are you? Ah, there
Yes,
it is.
Professor. Have you made your decision?
I have. Please send up the students right away.
Yes, Professor.
Professor, this is wasting time. With those people.
Those people may be our only chance to defeat Dr. Opposite.
So that's exactly my point. We need to get them over to the superhero, superpower, superstation at once and give them superpowers. This is the only way.
No, baby cuckoo, it's not. You don't understand. Dr. Opposite is not your average supervillain.
Well, none of them are normal.
Yes, of course. What I'm trying to say is you can't go about your normal methods to defeat her.
What do you mean?
Well,
What do you mean?
well, what I mean is that oh my gosh, oh, it's fine. Calm down. Oh my gosh, I can't believe we got called up.
Are you sure this isn't a mistake, Teresa?
I hope not. Our student will give us.
Well, there. I'm voting for flight.
Flight?
Or super strength.
Those sound scary, Jack.
Well, what would you want, Sheldon?
Oh, something small like super hearing.
Well, I want something cool, like the ability to look through the air.
Like a cat? That's weird.
Well, you're the one who wants to lift boulders. What is that ever useful?
Are you serious? Didn't you see?
Yeah! Super dorks! She's trying to speak. What did you say your name was? I didn't. I'm Chloe, and I'm not with them. Ah, yes. Chloe Cooper.
And I'm Jack Turner. And I'm very excited to join the Guild of Superheroes. Who are you again?
Oh, hi.
I'm Brenda Jack, and this is Teresa Tom, and we're very excited to be joining the team. And I'm especially excited to be getting my extreme gymnastics powers, so if you could just point me
Can we get on with it? I want to hear what she has to say.
Thank you.
Wait. Yes. He didn't introduce himself yet. Oh, brother.
Go ahead.
It's nice to meet you, Professor Alfred. My name is Sheldon Tropp. It's nice to meet you.
Wait, do you know her?
Well, sure. She's one of the best scholars in the entire city. She's helped the Superhero Guild defeat a lot of really super evil villains. And she's really good at planning, preparing people. She's one of the wisest people I've ever heard of.
Thank you, Sheldon, for that wonderful introduction. Now, if we could get back to the reason why I called you all here. Melody, if you would.
Yes, Professor.
This is Dr. Opposite, codenamed Dr. Ops. Although she is just starting out as a supervillain, she is already responsible for leading many people off of the path of truth. You see, the Guild does not know much about her, but we do know this. Her main goal is to destroy the world. That's horrible. So when do we go after her?
No, before that, when do we get our superpowers?
Well, that's why I've called you all up here. You see, you are to become an elite force to combat the evil ways of Dr. Opposite.
Yes! My super strength!
Well, that's what we've called you here to tell you. You see, Melody, just tell them the news. I can't bear to.
No, you don't understand. You aren't getting any superpowers.
What?
What?
The superpowers?
We need powers so that we can fight that. That's exactly what I've been saying to the professors this whole time.
Oh my gosh!
Lady Goo-Goo! I'm Jack Turner.
Professors, this has gone on long enough. We need to get these people in position to fight.
Madame.
No, this is crazy. We're losing the battle.
But
But
that's just...
listen, you helped us in the past. It is true. But we need a real superhero with real superpowers. I'm putting in Visible Man.
Ooh, Visible Man!
If you'll excuse me.
But Visible Man won't be able to do the job. Now, well, we've got lots of work to do, so...
Wait, Professor.
let's get on.
How are we going to defeat Dr. Opposite without any superpowers?
I mean, I'm awesome, but I can't go against a supervillain.
Yeah, none of us can. You heard Lady Goo-Goo. We need superpowers to win.
But that's what I've been trying to tell you all along. You already won.
I like you, you're funny.
But Dr. Opposite is still on the loose, so how have we won? That doesn't make any sense.
Look, it's not... Like I was saying before, Dr. Opposite isn't like any other supervillain we've ever encountered. I mean, it's not enough to go in with superpowers blazing. The way to defeat Dr. Opposite is with our faith.
Our faith? Like what we believe in?
Exactly. What we believe in and the way that we live our lives matters. I mean, look at Dr. Opposite. Each of you, I believe, exemplifies a different, yet valuable Christian virtue of the Christian faith.
What do you mean?
Well, let's see here. Jack Turner. Here it is. Jack Turner, age 18. Parents, Kevin and Jane. Core virtue, perseverance. Current
What's
status.
perseverance?
Perseverance is refusing to give up when life gets hard.
Wait a second. Virtues? Are you serious? I thought we were here to become superheroes.
Chloe Cooper, age 16. Parents, John and Catherine. Core virtue, kindness. Current status, cold, unfeeling, mean. Background, had a little sister.
That's enough, Professor.
Wait, core virtue, kindness? I've known her since Hero Academy last year. She's the least kind person I've ever met.
You don't know anything about me, but
Chloe,
Buddy boy, why I don't.
stop it!
it's enough, you two! Professor, I understand that virtues are important, but what did you mean when you said that we had already won? Dr. Opposite is still out there.
Well, yes, that is correct, Teresa. Dr. Opposite is still out there. However, I was correct as well because we have already won.
Well, which is it? Did we win or not?
Let me tell you a story. Melody, can you put that on the screen?
Yes, Professor.
I'd like you all to watch this first.
Once, there was a man who said such amazing things and did such extraordinary things that people began to follow him. He preached a message of truth and love. In those days, many people didn't know about truth or love, and so they were amazed at the things he said. He had a core group of friends who followed him, and they loved him so much. Other people didn't like what he had to say, and so they took him, and they lied about him, and they hung him on a cross to die. That is where our story begins.
That is where our story begins.
Precisely. Oh my. Excuse me. Now, what I'd like us all to do is tell the rest of the story.
What? No, absolutely not.
This is part of your training. I firmly believe in living the story, as it were, and you need to understand what we're up against.
Great, Professor. What do you want us to do?
Well, I'd like each of you to take a role in a sort of play.
All right. What part do you want me to play?
Who will be playing the role of Mary?
Seriously?
Okay, change my mind. I actually want to say I've got to see this.
Fine, I'm not going to give up just because.
You have to play a girl's part.
And Blair, you will be guard. Teresa, you will be Mary Magdalene. Chloe, the angel. What? Sheldon, you will be a stone.
What?
And places, everyone, places, places. When the man Jesus died on the cross, they took his body and buried him in a tomb. But before they could properly prepare his body, the sun went down and the Sabbath began. His friends weren't allowed to work on the Sabbath, so they left him in the tomb. The Romans, however, posted guard on the tomb so nobody could steal the body and pretend Jesus had been raised from the dead. They even put a giant stone in front of the tomb to block it. On the third day, Jesus' mother, Mary, and her friend Mary Magdalene came back to the tomb to prepare the body with the proper spices.
Mary, I'm so sad about Jesus dying. He had such awesome and amazing things to say. And now
women hurried away from the tomb, afraid and yet filled with joy, and ran to tell the disciples.
Oh my gosh, we have to tell everyone. Jesus is alive.
See? I told you God has a plan.
The end.
Wait, that's it?
Of course that's not it. This is just one part of a great story. That is all for right now.
But were you going to tell us whether we had won or not?
Ah, yes, excellent point, Teresa. You see, Jesus was no ordinary man. Jesus was God. So when Jesus died on the cross and then rose again 3 days later, he actually defeated death itself.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Indeed. So you see, when he defeated death, he made it so that when we all die, we can be up in heaven with God one day. So while things may seem difficult at times here on earth, we know that in the end, we've won. Jesus is victorious, so we are saved.
Wow. I still don't get it.
I think I get it.
Then please, explain it to the rest of us.
Well, it's like the professor said earlier about perseverance.
Oh yeah. What did that mean again?
Perseverance, refusing to give up when
When
life...
life gets hard. Well, the only way perseverance works is if we're working towards something like a goal or a happy ending. It's like what Mary said.
What you said?
Yes, what I said in the play. Look, God has a plan. And if what the professor is saying is true, and Jesus died and rose again so that we can be with God in heaven, then we know our story has a happy ending.
Well, what about Dr. Opposite? She's still on the loose. We can't wait her until the end of the story. She's gonna destroy the world.
Exactly. We know that this story is a happy ending. But perseverance is about making it through the rough times and not giving up. Which means we can't give up. We have to stop the spread of evil in this city. We have to stop Dr. Opposite.
And that's exactly why I've chosen you for this team, Jack Turner. You are the perfect embodiment of perseverance. You, as they say, get it.
Professor, it's a message from viewer is you.
Put it on the screen, Melody.
Hello, Professor. This is a courtesy message. We have just learned that Dr. Opposite has hired the Zegan of evil access to do her dirty work, and that they have assembled at her hideout. We've also learned that she is sending the notorious Surrender out on a mission tonight. I'm sorry, we cannot afford to wait any longer. We must send someone. I will be sending Visible Man. We thank you for your work, but it seems we will not be needing you. Stay out of the way in transmission.
Surrender. She's one of the worst henchmen out there. Dr. Opposite hired her
Then we don't have a lot of time.
Then this one's up to you, Jack.
Me? What?
But Professor, they're sending Visible Man, a superhero with actual superpowers. There's nothing extraordinary about Jack. He's just an ordinary person.
That's where you're wrong, Claire. You see, although he may be ordinary in that he doesn't have any superpowers, there's no such thing as an ordinary man. Now, will you do it, Jack? Will you defeat Sir Bender?
I'll do it. I don't know how. But Professor, if you believe in me, I'll do it.
Excellent. Then let me brief you on Sir Bender. Come with me.
Virtues. This lady's nuts, as if that's gonna help beat Dr. Opposite.
Well, what other choice do we have but to trust her? And it's like she said, Jesus is victorious, so we are saved.
Whatever. Jack is gonna crash and burn anyways. Mark my